Starting our warm-up, stepping out to the right, reaching with the right hand, and then together, and then nice and slow to the left. Here we go. Reach right and in. Left, bending the knees, tucking the hips, squeezing the core the whole time, engaging through that center, building our six-pack right from the get-go. Double time. Take it right and left. Reach, reach. Bending the knees, tucking the hips, everything nice and lifted. 4 and 3, 2, arms are going to reach up to the right diagonal. We're going to pull out and in, reach and in. Squeezing the core, lifting the leg, everything nice and tight. Double time. Up, reach and reach. 4 and 3, 2, other side. Take it slow. Up and in. Use the core to lift your leg, nice and controlled. Double time. Reach, reach, and reach for 4 and 3. Feet are wide. Drop the waist. You're going to reach the arms. Up, down, and squeeze. Squeezing through those shoulder blades. Nice and tight. 4, 3, 2. Palms to the back. Nice tight rows. And lower. Reach it up and lower. Bend the knees. Tuck the hips. Squeeze the core. 4 more. 4 and 3, 2, and a 1. Bicep curls. Take it up and down to the side and down. So palms are up and to the front. Lift it up to the front. Everything is bent. Core is nice and squeezed. Hips are tucked forward and under. Front and aside. 2 more times. Take it front, down, and side. Last time. Palms to the front. Pulse it up, 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 and up. Press it out to the corners. Take it. Press, press, press. Elbows tight to your side. Arms come to a box. We're going to pulse up, up, up. No more than an inch either direction. Squeeze. 8 more pulses. 8, 7, 6. Working the tops of those shoulders. 4, 3. Tiny little circles. Trace a dime. Circle, circle. Round, around. 4, 3, 2. Take it in. Circle in. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Reaching one arm out and then the other. Reach it out. Switch, switch. Nice and controlled, nice and tight. Everything squeezes, flexing both directions. 8, 7, 6. Hips are tucked, core is tight. We're going to go to our triceps. So slight hinge at the waist, not quite completely flat. Palms are lift, pinkies up. Palms up, hold. 2, 3, 4, and pinkies. Take it, palms and pinkies. Hips are tucked. Palms up, pinkies up. Squeezing those hands together behind your back. Palms up to the ceiling. Pulse it. 8, 7, 6. Nice and tight, controlled. 4, 3. Pinkies to the ceiling. Pulse it. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Tiny circles. Trace a dime. Circle. 8 and 7, 6. Keep it going. Feel those triceps burning nice and high. Circle it the other way. Circle in. In. Hips are tucked. Tummy's tight. 4, 3, 2. Hold it nice and high for 8, 7, 6. A little higher. 4 and 3 and 2. Your arms are done. Hallelujah. Go ahead and put your weights off to the side so they're not in your way. We're going to get down for a nice wide arm push-up position. Hands should be wider than your shoulders, in line with your face. Stacy's going to be on her knees to show you that modification. Kelsey's going to be on her toes. We're going to take it down and up, down and up. Arms are coming nice and out to the sides, nice and strong. Hips are tucked, tummies tight, booties are engaged. Everything's nice and controlled. 2. Hold it halfway down for 8, 8, 7, 6. We're going to rock it right to left. Take it right and left, right. As low as you can. Head is in line with your spine. Right and left. 4, 3, 2. Hold it tight again. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We're going to take those hands right in front of your shoulders. Tricep push-ups this time. Elbows squeeze your ribs all the way down, all the way up. 8 times down and up. And here we go. Take it down and push. Down, squeezing those ribs the whole time, nice and tight in. Everything's nice and controlled, not letting your back sway. Keep it nice and tight. Last two. Last one. Hold it halfway down for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Right to left. Take it right and left. Keeping that head in line with your spine. Don't let it drop. Core is nice and tight. Right and left. Take it right and left. Hold it nice and low. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Woo! Love it. Bring it to your knees. Right arm is across your chest. Drop your shoulders. Show off your collarbone. And take it back behind your head. Lift your chin. If you'd like an extra stretch, lean it to the side. And switch arms. Doesn't matter which one you started with, as long as you stretch out both. Drop that shoulder. Show off your collarbone. Imagine you have a beautiful necklace. And take it behind your head. Lift your chin. Enjoy the burn. Lean it to the side. And we're going to get into a straight arm plank. Arms are right beneath your shoulders. Straight line, head to heels. You can be facing whatever direction you want. Core is nice and tight. No booties in the air. No sway back. Everything's nice and lined and squeezed. Breathe. Rock it front to back. Little front and back. Take it front and back. Front and back. Your whole body is nice and engaged. Rocking over those arms through the feet. Front and back. 2 and a 1. Hold again. Quick. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We're going to bring it down to a forearm plank. Forearms and toes. Hands are parallel. Straight line, head to heels. Tummy is nice and engaged. Booty is nice and low. Breathe. 4, 3, 2, and 1. You're going to take it to your left arm. Right arm is up in the air, staying on your forearms. Your hips are nice and lifted. Everything's engaged through the side of the core. Keep breathing, keep holding, lifting nice and high. And come on down. We're going to roll it to a backwards plank. On your forearms and your heels, you can bend your knees to help get into it. Lifting the hips, lengthening through, squeezing the core. Glutes are engaged. Everything's working from heel to head. For 4, 3, 2, and 1. Taking it to your right arm this time. Left arm's up in the air. Hips are nice and lifted, engaging through your whole side. Planks are to target our core. Also increase stability. Nice and high. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Back to your forearm plank. Straight line, head to heels. So now we've hit every single position. We're back to our original. Core is engaged. Booty's in line with the spine. We're going to take it front and back. Rock it front and back. Only an inch either direction. Nice and tight, controlled. 4 more times. 4 and a 3. Back. 2 and back. 1. Hold it nice and tight. Quick. 8, 7, 6. We're almost there. And come on out. Give yourself a child's pose. Nice and long. Dropping your head. Lengthening your spine. Arms can reach or come behind you. Whatever feels best for you. You can flip those palms. And we're going to flip it over. We're going to target our core a little bit more. We're going to lay on our backs. Legs are going to be up in the air. Nice 90-degree angle. Then reach those arms for your toes, lifting your shoulders. We're going to do reverse curls, which is targeting those lower abdominal muscles, squeezing it in for the toes to go up. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Not trying to rock your feet towards your hands, just lifting straight up. Hands to feet. Reach, reach. Upper core is pulling in and up. 4, 3, 2. Both at the same time. Up, in. 4, 3, 2. Lengthen it nice and long, keeping your core pulled in, belly button to your spine. Keep it controlled. And come on down. Nice and long. Give yourself a roll over and a cobra stretch. Get your abs all ooey gooey. Then we're gonna lay it down. Arms are reaching like Superman. Lifting 2 counts, lowering 2 counts, nice and controlled, engaging the whole back through the glutes. Here we go. Take it up, even higher, back, down, and down. Take it, lift, lift, lower, and lower. Take it up, down, and down, little up, little higher, down, and down. 4 more, up, down, and down. 4, 3, up, down, and down. Last 2, up, lower, and lower. Last 1, lift, down, and down. You're gonna put your hands one on top of the other, lift up, slight pressure your hands to where you're comfortable, lift those legs. The legs are gonna go out, in, lift, and lower. Little out, take it in, lift it up, and lower. Engaging through the glutes, working that low back, making it nice and strong. For modification, if this bothers your back, your hands can come in between, underneath your hips, and lower. Take it out, in, lift, and lower. Take it out, in, lift, and lower. Last time. Hold it nice and high, arms reach for those feet. Hold it here. Just lift and lower the legs. Here we go. Take it, lift, and lower. Little up and down. Lift, lower, lift, and lower. Last 2. Last 1. Hold it nice and high. 8, 7, 6, even higher. 4 and 3 and 2, and you're done. Child's pose. Breathe, stretch, feel accomplished. Your warm-up is done. Great job, everyone. I hope you're all warm and sweaty and ready to start your class. We're going to head on over to our bar or your counter, chair, or couch. We're going to put one hand on it, the other hand is straight out in front of us. Our feet are going to be wider than our shoulders. Bend your knees, tuck your hips, squeeze your core, keeping your chest nice and lifted, sinking down till you feel those thighs engage. Go 2 inches lower than that. We're going to go up, down, and down. Take it, lift, and lift, lower, and lower. Take it up an inch, down, and down. Take it, lift, lower, and lower. Trying to pull those knees back towards the back wall, down, and down, engaging through the backs and underside of the thighs. Little pulses up. Take it up, and up. Shoulders are lifted, chest is tall, hips are tucked, core is tight. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 1 inch up, 1 inch down. Lift and lower. Lift and lower. Take it, lift and lower, lift and lower. Little up, little lower, tiny up, little lower, little up and down. Pulse it up. Here we go. Up, making sure your knees are not going past your ankles. They stay right on top of them. 8, 7, 6, hips are tucked, tummy's tight, chest is tall. Hold it nice and low for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Take it to stilettos. Here we go. Little up, down, and down. When you're in your stiletto, you should be over your first 3 toes. Big toe and the 2 next to it. Up, down, and down. Take it, lift, making sure to keep those hips pulled forward and under. Chest is tall, everything's engaged. Lower and lower. Take it, lift, and lift. Tiny pulses up. Embrace that shake. You can do it. Woo! Up and up, and up for 8, 7, 6. Keeping everything nice and tight, controlled. 1 inch up and 1 inch down. Lift and lower. 1 inch lift and lower. If you're shaking, you're doing it right. That means it's working. We're changing. Lift and lower. Lift and lower. 2 and 1. Pulse it up. Pulse up. Up. You should be shaking like a leaf right now. Keep it going. Final 8. 1 inch deeper. You can do it. 8, 7, 6. Everything's nice and lifted, nice and tall, nice and tight. Hold it nice and low. Quick. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Shake it out. All right, we're gonna grab our ball. We're gonna place it just above the knees, in between the thighs. Your feet are gonna be 4 to 6 inches apart, squeezing on that ball. We're gonna work the inner upper thigh. Hand is on the bar, other hand straight out in front. Bend the knees, tuck the hips, squeeze the core, shoulders lifted. Come up to your stilettos. Drop down into your burn zone. 2 down, lift and squeeze. Take it down, down, little lift, squeeze the ball, take it down, down, lift, and squeeze. You're in your burn zone, thighs are engaged, lift, and squeeze. That squeeze is coming from the inner upper thigh, lift, and squeeze, take it down, down, little lift, big squeeze, take it down, down, lift, hold it low, and squeeze the ball, in, and in. You're in your stilettos as high as you can on those toes, and in, squeezing 8, 7, 6, 5, hips are tucked, shoulders tall, back is straight, squeeze and hold the ball, squeeze, hold, squeeze and hold, squeeze and hold, in and hold, woo, squeeze, keep on breathing, squeeze and hold, you can do it, squeeze and hold, squeeze and hold, squeeze it, tempo, take it in, keep those hips tucked, don't let it start to scoot, keep your shoulders lifted nice and tall, stacked over your hips, 8, 7, feel free to make whatever face you want to, it's going to help you get through this, little down, little up, take it lower, and lift, embrace the shake, that means it's working, take it down, and lift, little lower, no more than an inch, lower, and lift, lower, and lift, everything's nice and tall, nice and controlled, pulse it down to finish, down, down, we're almost there, finish strong, take it down, and down, first 3 toes, heels as high as you can, 8, 7, 6, we're gonna hold it in a 4 and a 3, how low can you go and hold it, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, you're done. Alright, we're going to take the ball out from between the knees and grab onto that double yellow band. Now if you don't want to use this, you don't have to. 1 loop is less resistance, 2 loops is a little bit harder, so I just suggest you try it and see what you think. You're going to put it on like a skirt, both feet same hole, just above your knees. We're going to face this direction for a little bit of variety. Our heels are going to be together, toes are apart in what we call first position. You're going to bend your knees, tuck your hips, squeeze your bar, or squeeze your core. Hand is on your bar, other hand is straight out in front. Come up to those stilettos, slide your heels together. Remember, first 3 toes only, no pinky toes. We're going to sink down till we feel those thighs engage, keeping your heels touching, toes are nice and tall, holding it nice and low, pulse it down, take it down, 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 and down as high as you can, hips are tucked, core is tight, 8 more here, 8, 7, 6, 5, everything is nice and controlled, contracted, 1 down, 1 open of the knees, down and open, down and open, you're squeezing through the side, upper part of the thigh for the open, down, press them back, down and back, 2 and back, hold it low, just open the knees, take it, squeeze, squeeze, it's an itty bitty, teeny tiny, 1 inch or less movement, nice and tight, controlled, your glutes might be burning, that's okay, we're working all the way up the side, outer part of the thigh, 4, 3, 1 open, 1 tuck of the hips, we're gonna open, tuck, open, tuck, open, tuck, tiny open, big tuck, 4, hips to ribs, 3, tuck, 2, and tuck, hold it low and tuck the hips, tight, 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 your hips are coming up and in, nice and controlled through this lower core, as long as you hold it low, you're gonna feel those thighs burning, keep it going, 4, 3, hold it low, 8, 7, 6, lower, 4, and 3, and 2, and your thighs are done, hallelujah. Great job, everyone. Go ahead and take that band off. You're gonna face them towards whatever support you have. Grab your right foot in your hand, close your knees, pull your heel towards your seat. You can always pull your knee towards your couch, your chair. Take a bow forward, get through that quad, and let it go. Switching legs. Again, grabbing your left foot in your hand, pulling your knees together so you're not twerking your knees. Pull it towards your couch, your chair, your counter, and take a bow. Open up from your knee to your hip, and shake it out. Your thighs are done. Yay! So now we're moving on to the calf portion of our class. We only have one calf exercise, so make it good. We're going to work with our heels together, toes apart to start in our first position. We're going to work over our first 3 toes. When your heels come down, they have to touch the floor. No hovering, otherwise you're going to hurt your Achilles. Knees need to stay straight so we don't have the wobble. No rocking front and back. No slamming your heels. Staying nice and tall. Fingertips can rest on your couch, your chair, your counter, or they can come up in the air or do something silly if you want to. But you want to keep your core engaged and your knees straight, working over those first 3 toes. We're going to take it 2 counts up, 2 counts down, working through the whole foot, nice and slow and controlled. Here we go. Take it up, up, down and down, up, 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 and up and up. 2 more. Lift and lift, down and down. Last time. Take it tempo, up, up, and up. Press, press, keeping that core tight. Knees are straight, working through the whole foot. First 3 toes only. 8 more. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Parallel. Feet are nice and straight. Lift, lift, down and down. Heels are behind your toes, right underneath those hips. Up, up, down and down. Lifting straight up to the ceiling. No rocking either direction. You might feel like you're building rocks. That's okay. Take it tempo. Take it up, up, up. You can always try lifting one hand. You can try lifting both. See if you can do it. 8 more here. 8, 7, 6, 5. Our feet are about to go wider than our shoulders. Toes to the corners. Here we go. Up, up, down and down. Lift, lift. Working through that whole foot all the way up to your stiletto every time. Up, up, down and down, up, up. Lift, lift through that whole foot. Take it tempo, take it up, up. If this pace is too quick for you, work at your own pace, but really try to get all the way up and then heels touch that carpet. Up, down, down, down. 4, 3, parallel, nice and wide. Toes and heels are in line. Down and down, up, up, down and down. Heels touch the carpet every time. Down and down, up, up, down, down, up, up, down and down, down and down. Tempo last time. Up, 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 and up. Breathe, up, up. Final 8 and then a hold for 8, 7, 6. Hello, sexy legs. 4, 3, 2. Hold it nice and high. 8, 7, 6. Challenge yourself. See if you can pick your hands up, even if they're just a hover, and come on down. Step your right leg back nice and long, pushing against whatever you're using. Unless you're using a chair, I don't suggest pushing against that. Bend your knee. And then switching feet. Nice deep stretch from the back of your knee down through your heel. Bend the knee. Little bonus stretch if you're on a solid surface, both feet back. Drop your heels towards the floor, hips towards whatever you're using, and bend both knees. And straighten. And your calves are done. So we're moving on to our leg stretch. Find a space that's nice and open for you. Feet are wider than your shoulders. Take a deep breath in and reach it out and forward. If you can't reach the floor, that's okay. Hands go to your quads or your shins, just never pushing on those knees. Drop your head, lengthen your spine nice and long. You want a long spine, taking at least 2 deep breaths in every position. You can wiggle side to side in any position, move through it, see where it feels good for you. And take your chest over to your right leg, keeping your feet planted. Again, your hands can be on your leg as long as you keep that head reaching low. Option up for more of a stretch. Reach that right arm up, looking towards it, or take it back behind you. If you're doing your left side right now, that's okay. And we're going to take it down to a runner's lunge. Knees over your ankle or slightly behind it. If it is over your toes, you need to shift back to that back foot so you're not straining your ankle or your knee. Nice and long, you're opening this hip. You can always, for a challenge, bring it up, hands to the thigh. Or you can take your elbows down towards the floor. See what feels best for you. You can always hold this regular lunge. Keeping one hand on the floor, set down your back knee, reaching around with that hand for your foot. If you can't reach it yet, that's okay. The more you stretch, the easier it will become. If you can, try to grab your ankle instead of your toes, leaning forward so you're on your muscle, not on your kneecap. Everything is nice and long. Deep breath. Carefully setting that foot down, sitting back, reaching over your front leg. You can either sit back all the way, or you can work it towards a split. You can keep it inching towards your split. If you don't have it, that's okay. Everything's a goal to work towards. Wherever you are, take a lean forward and take a deep breath. Always exhaling, lengthening, stretching through that muscle. And carefully stand it up. All 10 toes tucked towards the side, head down, spine long. Again, your hands can be on your leg. Wherever you're comfortable, keep that head dropped, lengthening through your spine. Try to pull your hip towards your toes. Side. So whichever side you didn't do, take your chest over that leg, head down and heavy. Again, hands can be on the leg. One hand can reach up behind. Look for that hand if it's up, or you can take it back behind your back. These are always options. Taking it down to the lunge. Again, one hand on either side, knee is over ankle or slightly behind it. If it's over your toes, shift to that back foot. Come up, or the elbows can come down. See where the stretch feels good for you. We're all built different. Carefully dropping that back knee, reaching around with that hand. Again, if you can't reach it, that's okay. Everything is a goal to work towards. If you can, lean it forward. Trying to pull that heel towards your seat, on your muscle, not on your bones. Deep breath. Every exhale, let go of a little more tension. Sitting backwards, you can keep it here, you can sit it all the way back, or you can work it towards that split. Again, you don't have to have the split to try the split. Everything is a goal to work towards. You want to make sure you're lengthening from your heel up through the whole back of your leg all the way to your glute. We don't want to sit back into it because we lose the stretch through the back of the leg. So keeping everything nice and long, hips facing the side wall. Lean it forward wherever you are, take a deep breath. Up. All 10 toes to the side, pulling your hip towards your toes. Again, hands can be on the leg or on the floor. Just keep that head down and heavy, chest low, spine long. Taking it back through the center. Again, hands can be on the legs, reaching out, pulling back wherever it feels good for you. Carefully bend your knees, tuck your hips, stacking one vertebrae at a time. Your head will be the last thing to come up. And that is the end of our leg stretch, and we're going to move on to our seat. So now we're going to move on to our seat. Our first exercise for our seat, we're going to lay down on our mat. Feet are going to face either side. If you don't have a mat, that's okay. If you do have a towel, that will work too. We just want a little bit of cushion underneath our shoulders. We're going to put on that double yellow band, like a skirt again. Both feet same hole, just above those knees. You're going to lay flat on your back. Arms are going to push into the floor. Feet are about hip distance apart, so we have tension on that band. Your hips are going to come up into the air, lifting as high as you can. We're going to squeeze the glutes through the hamstrings along the back side. Anytime I say the word up, you're squeezing from these hammies. Anytime I say the word open, you're squeezing along the sides of the thighs. Never coming down more than an inch from your highest point, starting pulsing up. Here we go. Up, up, up. Anytime you hear the word up, I want you to squeeze from those hamstrings, from the back of your knee to your booty. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Up, up, and up. 4, 3, 1 up, 1 open. Here we go. Push it up, open, up, open, up, open, up, and open. For 4, open, tight. 3, open, 2, open, hold it high, just push the knees back, open. 2, using the side of the cheeks for the open, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. 8 more, open. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, right cheek only, then both knees. Squeeze the right cheek, both knees. Right cheek, both knees. Right cheek, both knees. Cheek, knees. Cheek, knees, cheek, and knees. Just the right cheek. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. So it's getting its own little solo, working it out nice and firm. Squeeze and squeeze. 8 more. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Left cheek, then both knees. Here we go. Left, knees. Left cheek, knees. When you squeeze from your knees, you're opening from the top of the cheeks. Up and squeeze. Open, left cheek, both knees, left, knees, just the left cheek, solo, left, 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 and left. No tension in your neck, keep on breathing. 8 more left. 8, 7, 6, I know you're burning, you're working your booty, you're lifting, you're toning, it's awesome. Back to the ceiling, final 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, squeeze it, buns of steel, hold it tight. 8, 7, 6, even tighter. 4 and 3 and 2, and come on down. You're gonna take that band off your knees, give it a little tiny wiggle, and your bridge is done. So we're going to move on to our second seat exercise. We're going to work in a tabletop position like Kelsey and Stacy are both in right now. On your hands and knees, pulling those hips forward and under to belly button nice and tight to your spine like you're crawling across the floor with a tummy ache. You're going to extend your right leg out back behind you nice and straight, and then turn it out, which means your top of your foot is going to go to the side wall. Keeping your hips nice and level, keeping that nice tucked position. Most of your weight is going to be on your right arm. We're going to squeeze the booty where it meets the hamstring. This nice tight little muscle making a little wrinkle in your pants. Little tiny booty winks, pulsing it up to the ceiling. Here we go. We're going to take it, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Itty bitty tiny contractions, keeping those hips pulled forward and under, belly buttons nice and tight to the spine. 8, 7, you're squeezing right at the base of that cheek. 4, 3, we're going to go 1 inch up, 1 inch down. You're going to take it, lift and lower. Don't worry if your foot is barely off the floor. As long as you're keeping those hips pulled forward and under. You should have a nice concave stomach right now. Hips up to your ribs, tiny little lift and lower. Pulse it up again. Squeeze, squeeze, wink, wink. Knee is as straight as you can get it from your booty to your toes, so you're really engaging every muscle down the entire leg. Squeeze. 4, 3, we're going to squeeze and hold it, buns of steel. Here we go. Squeeze, hold. 2, 3, 4, squeeze, hold. Check in with your core. Make sure your hips are pulled forward and under. Squeeze, hold. Squeeze and hold. 2, 3, 4, squeeze, hold. Squeeze and hold. Squeeze and hold. Squeeze it, tempo. Take it, squeeze. Squeeze. You should be starting to shake. Your booty should be starting to burn. We're really lifting and sculpting the underside right now. Here we go for 8, 7, 6, itty bitty tiny pulses, 1 inch or less. Buns of steel, hold it tight. 8, 7, 6, 5. Bending your heel towards your seat. Flex your foot. Keep it parallel. We're going to lift and lower. So parallel simply means that both your knees are going to be in line with each other. No more turned out. Squeezing and lowering. Squeeze, release, squeeze, release. The tighter your heel is towards your seat, the harder your hamstring's working. If you need to, if those arms and wrists are starting to hurt, you can come down to your forearms, keeping those hips nice and tucked, tummies nice and tight. Pulse it up. Pulse, pulse, pulse. Flex, flex, flex. Really squeezing your heel to your seat, making that entire hamstring engaged, keeping those hips nice and level, forward and under, nice and tucked, core is tight. Squeeze and hold it, squeeze and hold. Squeeze and hold. Squeeze and hold. Squeeze and hold. 4 more here. For 4. And 3, 2, and 1. Squeeze it, tempo. Take it, squeeze. Squeeze. Keep pulling that heel towards your seat. I know it's getting hard. I know your hamstring is burning. Keep it nice and tight. Check in with your core. Squeeze. Flex. I know I make you think about everything from your head to your toe. Tummy's tight. Working the butt. Buns of steel. Hold it. 8, 7, 6. Your hamstring should be on fire. 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Give it a quick stretch side to side. And then we're going to turn it around. So crawl on your hands and knees, facing the other direction. We're going to work the left cheek this time. So most of your weight is on your left hand. Hips are tucked, tummy's tight, so you have this nice tight stomach. Again, like you're crawling across the floor with a tummy ache. Left leg is back behind you as straight as you can. It might barely get off the floor as long as you can keep those hips nice and level. Leg is turned out so your foot is facing towards the front wall. Tiny little pulses. We're going to squeeze. Squeeze where your booty meets your hamstring. You want nice little wrinkles. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Tight, tight, keeping everything pulled forward and under. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, up an inch, down an inch. Here we go. Take it. Squeeze, release, squeeze, release, squeeze, release. Where your booty meets your hamstring is working super hard. It should be shaking. It should be burning. Squeeze, release. This is going to give us that nice little rounded out bottom of the cheek. 4, release. 3, release. 2, release. 1, squeeze it, tempo. Take it tight, tight. Wink, wink. Hey girl, hey. Working it. 8 more winks. 8, 7, like a cheesy car salesman. Wink it tight. 4 and 3. Wink and hold. Here we go. Squeeze and hold. 2, 3, 4. Flex, hold. Only flexing where that booty meets your hamstring as tight as you can make it. For 4 and 3. Hips are tucked, tummies tight. 2 and 1. Wink it nice and tight. 8, 2, 3, and 4. And a flex, 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 and flex for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Buns of steel. Hold it tight. 8, 7, 6. Good time to check in with those hips. 4. Bend the heel to your seat. Flex it parallel. We're gonna lift and lower. Little lift and lower. Lift and lower. Again, making sure your hips are staying nice and level. I know this is a hard position to control and maintain. Keeping those hips pulled forward and under. Always checking in with that core. Protecting your low back. When you let that back drop, we're putting a lot of pressure on those vertebrae. So keeping everything pulled in. Working the booty. Pulse it up. Tight. Tight. Squeeze and squeeze. Squeeze. Again, you can always come to those forearms. If you don't want to, you can stay on both hands. That's okay. Keeping most of your weight on the working leg side. Squeeze. Squeeze. Buns of steel. Hold it. Here we go. Squeeze, hold. 2, 3, 4. Squeeze, hold. Squeeze, hold. Squeeze, hold. Squeeze and hold. Squeeze and hold. Squeeze and hold. Squeeze and hold. Squeeze it. Tempo. Almost done. Your home stretch. You can do it. Keeping that heel pulled towards your seat. Engaging your whole hamstring nice and controlled. 8 more. 8, 7, 6. Challenge yourself. See how close you can get that heel to your seat. Buns of steel. Final 8, 8, 7. Holding it nice and still. Tight, contracted. 4 and a 3 and a 2. And you're done. Stretch it out. Give it a nice wiggle side to side before we move on to our final seat exercise. So now we're going to move on to our final seat exercise. For this exercise, you are going to need that double yellow band again. If you don't want to use it, you don't have to, but I challenge you to try it. You can always take it off during if it becomes too difficult. But we do want to challenge ourselves because if it doesn't burn, it's not working. 1 loop is less resistance. 2 loops is a little bit harder. We're going to sit on the far right side of your mat or your towel if you have one, and then we're going to roll it down to our side, keeping your legs straight to the front, body straight to the side. So we have this beautiful 90-degree angle from our hips to our legs. You're going to support your head or lay it flat, whichever is most comfortable for you. Take that arm up and over, boxing it off so you're laying on the side of your chest. You don't want to lay on your ribs and start to roll backwards because you'll lose your core. So pushing onto that arm, you squeeze your tummy nice and tight, bend that top knee, flex your foot, lift it up to your highest point of control. This is your zone. This is where you should be working the whole time. We're going to do little tiny pulses up to the ceiling, contracting through the top side of the thigh, pushing in that arm the whole time. Here we go. Pulse it up, up, up. Nice, tiny, tight, controlled contractions. This is really going to sculpt that upper side of the thigh and the butt. Squeeze, squeeze. Trace a dime, itty-bitty circles. Circle around, around, around. A dime or smaller is the goal, as high as you can the whole time. Back to up, 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 and up. Breathe, push, squeeze. Don't let it come down more than half an inch from your highest point. Up. and up. 4, 3, tiny circles, other way. Circle, 2, 3, 4. Back to pulsing to the ceiling, up, up. If you notice your leg starts to scooch, take it right back to the front. Squeeze and squeeze, 8 more, 8, 7, squeeze the core, pushing that arm. 4, 3, 1 pulse your chest, 1 kick the mirror. Pulse it, chest and kick, take it in and kick. These ones get real deep in the nitty gritty, working really hard. 4 more, 4, kick. 3, trying to keep it in line with your other leg as high as you can. Pulse it to your shoulder, in, so it's still a 1 inch or less movement. You're bringing it up and in on that angle and then going 1 inch from there. 8, 7, 6, woo! 4, 3, 2, straighten it front, pulse it up, up, up. Hello booty, working on a new one, gonna show it off. Up, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, keep breathing, tiny circles, circle, 2, I know your butt's on fire, keep that core nice and engaged, nice and tight, pulse it up, 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 up to the ceiling, work it up, 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 and up for 4, 3, circle the other way, tiny dime or less, around, around, 4, 3, pulse it up last time, up, 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 and up, breathe, 8 more here, push it, 8, 7, 6, we're gonna knee the chest and then kick the mirror with all you got, in 2, here we go, take it in, and press, in, woo, in, and press, 4 more here, in, kick, 3, squeeze the core, 2, push through that arm, pulse to shoulder, 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 sculpting, toning, lifting, yes, final 8, 8, 7, 6, finish strong, you're almost there, 3, 2, and 1, beautiful, tenderize your meat, smack it out if you want to, you can give it a little wiggle side to side, and then we're gonna sit it up to work the other side. You're gonna scoot to the other side of your mat, your towel, or just give yourself a little bit of space. Nice, tall, 90 degrees at the waist, everything's nice and tight, tummies are controlled, roll it down. Again, either laying your head on your arm or supporting it with your other hand. Arm comes up and over, laying on the side of your chest, squeezing your core. Bend the leg, flex the foot, lift it up to your highest point of control. 4, 3, 2, pulse it up, 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 and up. Again, we're targeting from the knee to the top of the booty, up, and up. 8 more, 8, 7. You might notice this side is burning a little bit more because the supporting side is engaged. It just worked. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Tiny little circle. Circle around. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Pulse it up, up, up. For most of us, our left side tends to be a little bit weaker than our right, so really try to push through. Make it just a song. Circle. Around, around, 4, 3, 2, pulse it up, 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 breathe, this is our last cheek for either side, you're almost there, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, squeeze the core, push through the arm, other way, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, up to the ceiling, up, 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 and up, 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 8 more here, 4, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 1 to your chest, kick them front, in, and kick, in, and kick, I know you're burning, push it through, you can do it, 4, and kick, 3, and kick, adjust as you need to, push in that arm, squeeze the core, pulse the shoulder, shoulder, 2, 3, woo! Squeeze, 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 and squeeze. We're really working here. 4, 3, leg goes straight to the mirror, pulse it up, 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 and up. Squeezing the core, pushing through your arm. laying on the side of your chest. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, trace a dime, circle around. 2, 3, 4, breathe around. Back up to the ceiling, pulse it up, 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 and up. Breathe, up. 8 more here. 4, 8, 7, 6, enjoy that burn, embrace it. 4, 3, circle the other way, around, around. We're getting really close to being done with our cheeks. You can do it, finish strong, pulse it up again, up, up. These are our last pulses up to the ceiling. Push it through as hard as you can. I know you're burning. 8, 7, imagine how good your butt's gonna look tomorrow. 4, 3, pulse it to your chest and kick the mirror. Take it in and kick, in and kick, in and kick. 4 more here for 4, kick, 3 and kick, 2, kick, pulse it to your shoulder, finish strong. In, and in, breathe, in. Final 8, count with me, here we go, as loud as you can. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and you're done. Smack it out, tenderize your meat, make it feel good. Take that band off while you're laying down. You don't even have to get up yet. Roll it onto your back. Cross your right leg over the left, and then pull your knees towards your chest. Get into that cheek. You might want to wiggle side to side. See where it feels best for you. Open up through the hip, through the glute. It just worked really hard. That was awesome. And switch sides. Give it a little wiggle. Great job working your seat, everyone. Now we're going to move on to our core. So now we're going to move on to our core. For our wall core, which is our first core exercise, you're going to need that wall. So I want you to find a wall that you're close to. You're going to sit everything flat against it. Your booty, your hips, your low back, your mid back. Everything is flat, flat, flat against that wall. No space whatsoever. Belly button is going to be tight to your spine. We're going to open the legs just a little bit into a nice V position. You're going to be holding that ball in your hands the entire time. Our shoulders need to squeeze against the wall. We're working our lowermost core from behind our belly button to between our hip bones, so everything needs to be in nice and tight, nice and controlled, never pushing forward. We're going to squeeze one side of the core and then the other in order to work from our hips or our ribs down to our hips. Everything nice and in. We're going to contract one side and release, and then contract the other side, release. We're going to start right center, left center. Everything nice and controlled. Here we go. We're going to squeeze right, center, left, and center. Squeeze right, center, left, and center. Squeeze right side, release, left side, release, right, release, left. So we're really focusing from the hips to the ribs. In, let it go. In, belly button's tight to the spine the whole time. Your core is pulling your ribs to get the ball to move either way. In, just pulsing into the right. Here we go. Pulse it right, 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 and right. In, nice tight control through from the ribs down to the hips. In, making as tight as you can so it's abs of steel just on that side. Other side. Here we go. Pulse in, in. Squeeze, squeeze. You're making this as tight as you can get it. Tight, 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 and tight. We're going to pulse it down to the front. Upper core is pulsing in and front. Here we go. Pulse front, front. Upper core diaphragm is pulling in, which pulls you down. Ball is reaching for the ground. Pull, pull, in. Your tummy is still tight. Belly button still to your spine. Add a tuck of your hips. You're going to tuck and reach down at the same time. So you're tucking your hips to your ribs. Your lower core is contracting. Your upper core is contracting. Everything is as in and tight as you can. 4, 3, hold the ball low. Just tuck the hips. Tuck, tuck. So you're contracting that lowermost core up and in, keeping that back flat to the wall the whole time. Taking it tuck, tuck. Trying not to use your glutes. Tuck, tuck. Arms are going to come up in the air, tucking the hips. Tuck, tuck, and tuck, 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 tuck. 8 more here. 8, 7. We're going to try to tuck from the core and lift one leg and then the other, right and then left. Here we go. Tuck, right, left, right, left. If your foot doesn't come off the floor, that's okay. You're squeezing from this deep down lowermost core from behind your belly button down through your hips, trying to relax the quads the whole time. Both legs, if you can, take a tuck, squeeze, 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 trying not to use the booty, trying not to use the quads, just the core. Final 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, quick, hold tight, 8, 7, 6, core as tight as you can, 4 and 3 and 2, and you're done. Come on out. Take a deep breath. Your first core exercise is finished. So now we're going to move on to our second core position. Our second core is called our C curve spine. So for this, you're going to scoot your booty a good 6 to 8 inches from the wall. So your shoulders are pushing, but you have this nice distance behind your butt. You're going to push your core in nice and tight. Hands are going to be pressing for some resistance. We're going to tuck the hips up to the ribs. Tummy is nice and tight, engaged, using those lowermost core muscles to initiate any movement. Here we go. We're going to take a tuck, 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 and tuck, tuck, tuck. 8 more here. Here we go for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Right leg in the air. We're gonna tuck, 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 and tuck, tuck, tuck. Squeezing from this lowermost core, pulling it in, and in. 4, 3. Both legs flat. Tuck the hips. Tuck, tuck. So your feet are pushing into the floor through your heels. Your hips are pulling up and in. Belly button tight to your spine. Using those lowermost core muscles, trying to relax your cheeks just from the core. 4, 3. This time left leg hovers. Here we go. Take it. Tuck, 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 and tuck. Really pulling in. Using the breath every time. You're gonna making space through that core by exhaling on every tuck. 8 more here. 8, 7, 6. Rotating those hips up and under. Both feet flat. Keep tucking, tuck, and tuck, tuck. Forward and under, using the core, rotating on that sit bone, up and under, 8, 7, 6, 5. For a challenge, you can hover both feet. This time, right leg is higher, both feet hover, tuck, tuck. So your right leg is higher than your left. If this is too challenging for you, you can keep that left leg flat on the floor. 8 more. 8, 7, 6. Your legs only move as a result of those hips pulling forward and under. Both feet flat. Tuck, tuck. For more of a challenge, they can both hover a good inch off the floor. Tuck, trying to use the core in. 8, 7, 6, 5. Keep breathing. 4, 3. Left leg higher. This time, tuck it up, up and in. Lowermost core. Again, remember, you can use the modification and set that second foot down on the ground if you need to, just holding up the 1. 4, 3, 2. Both feet hover flat. Tuck, tuck, tuck. So they're nice and level now, whether they're on the ground or both in the air, they're at the same height. Final 8. Squeeze, squeeze. Tucking the hips, pulling it in. 4, 3. Everything squeeze and hold as hard as you can. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come on down. So now we're going to move on to our next core exercise, which is our laying flat core. You're going to need your ball for this one. You can lay flat and then put it behind you. You're going to stick it underneath your tailbone where your booty meets your spine, so you have nice low support. Your hands can press onto the floor for balance. If you ever want more of a challenge, they can come all the way up above your face, towards your forehead, or just hovering off the floor, whatever's most comfortable for you. Try it, see what you think. It's going to really stabilize those core muscles. We're going to do nice slow toe taps, keeping the knees bent, tapping the right and then the left. Here we go. Tap the right, left, right, left. Squeezing the core, belly button to the spine. Tap and tap. Everything's pulled nice and in, initiating all movements from that lower core. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Double time, nice and quick. Here we go. Tap, 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 tap. 4, 3, 2. Slow bicycles. You're going to push it out. Switch, switch, and switch at your lowest point of control. Again, if you ever want more of a challenge, you can cover those hands off the floor. You can pick them up, hold them above your face. You will wobble, that's okay. We're really stabilizing through the core. Double time. Out, 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 push, breathe. Initiating all the movement from that lowermost core. 8 more here. 8, 7, 6, 5. We're going to bring both feet up to the ceiling. And 2, and 1. We're going to go down, 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 and hold. Up, up, double time. Here we go. Take it down, 2, 3. Up, up, up. Take it down, 2, 3. Up, up, up. You're going to your lowest point of control. Up, up, up. Take it down, 2, 3. The reason we're only going 3 counts down and 3 counts up, you want to hold that 4th one so you eliminate momentum. Hold, down, 2, 3, and freeze. Really focusing on that core. Down, 2, 3. Up, 2, 3. Last time. We're going to keep the down and up, crisscrossing the ankles. Here we go. Crisscross. And up, and up, and up. Down, 2, 3. Up, up, up. As low as you can go for you. Working those abs. Nice, tight little crisscrosses. Up, and up, and up. 4 more. 4, 2, 3. Up, up, up. Take it down. 2, 3. Up, up, up. 2 more. Down. 2, 3. Remember, you can always hover those hands for challenge. Last time. Low as you can go, we're going to beat the feet in. Tiny, tiny squeezes. Like you're squeezing little cheater chopsticks. In. 8 more. 8, 7, 6, 5. Last 4, 3, 2, and 1. And you're done. Beautiful. Take that ball out, and we're going to sit it up to move on to our final core exercise. We're going to sit up for our final core exercise. We're going to take that ball still. You're going to place it behind your tailbone, and then I like to scoot 1 inch past that so it's nice and wedged up under there, almost making a teardrop shape behind you. So this is going to give you low back support without having to lean for that ball. If you don't want the ball for more of a challenge, you don't have to use it behind your back. You can hold it in your hands. All right, we're going to reach those arms out. Feet are planted, core is nice and tight, nice and curved. You're going to take your shoulders back, leaning from that core till you feel your core engage. Take it 2 inches past there. We're going to go 2 counts front and 2 counts back. Pulse front, front, back, and back. 1 inch, back, and back. Up, 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 back, and back. So no more than 1 inch either direction. Nice and tight, controlled, making sure your belly button's pulled to your spine the whole time. 4 more here. 4, and 3, 2, back, and 1. Tiny pulses front, pulse front, front. 1/2 inch or less, staying in that burn zone of your core so you're nice and engaged from your ribs down to your hips. Belly button is tight to your spine. Front and front. 4, 3. We're going to pulse it to the right. Twist and pulse. Right. Getting into those right obliques. Everything squeezes. Right. Hold the thigh, tuck your right hip. We're going to tuck. Right hip is coming up and in towards the ribs. In. Up and in. Back to center. Pulse it. Front. Reach. And pulse. Breathe. Staying in that burn zone. 8 more here. 8, 7, 6, 5. Get ready to twist it to the left. Left obliques in 2 and 1. Here we go. Twist left. So you're getting in through those left obliques this time. Everything's nice and tight in. Hold the thigh, tuck the hip, tuck up and in. Left hip only, up towards your ribs. 4, 3, 2, back to center. Pulse it front, and front. Reach. 8 more pulses, then we're going to take the ball out and lay flat. Front and front. 4, 3, get ready to remove the ball and lay it flat. Ball out, laying flat, feet in a butterfly position. We're going to reach up through the knees. So your upper core is contracted, so your shoulders are lifted the whole time. You're reaching an extra inch from there, from the core, pulling in, up, and up. 8 more. 8, 7, 6, 5. Belly button is tight to your spine the whole time. Legs go to a diamond shape overhead, feet in the air, reaching through the feet. reaching through those legs, keeping your shoulders lifted off the ground so you're really isolating that upper core. Lower core is nice and pulled in. And up. 4, 3, reach through your legs and hold it. Reach it. 8, 7, 6, little higher for 4 and 3 and 2, and you're done. Lay it down, stretch it out, fingers to toes, lengthen those abs, breathe, and then give yourself a roll over and push it up into a cobra stretch. Get into that core, make it all gooey, feeling good. Your core section is done and it's time to stretch. So now that we're moving on to our final portion of class, it's the stretch portion. You are going to put your feet together in a butterfly position, bottoms of the feet nice and together, grab onto your ankles, take a deep breath, and lean it forward. At least 2 deep breaths in every position, lengthening through everything, any position that you're in. Make it feel nice and good. Deep breath in, exhale, and roll it up. You're going to extend your right leg out, left leg stays in, or left out, right in, whichever you prefer. Reach up nice and tall and lay over that thigh. Drop your head, lengthening your spine, keeping that hip nice and open. You can move through each position, see where it feels good for you, and carefully roll it on up. You're going to extend your other leg out, reaching up nice and tall, laying it forward. Breathe. Again, lengthening through that whole back, through your side, keeping that hip nice and open. Take a deep breath. You can always flex your foot if you can and want to lengthen a little bit different behind that leg, and roll it on up. Both legs are going to come out wide to a straddle position. Nice tall spine. I want you to take a deep breath in and reach up and over to your right, keeping your chest open to the mirror. Take a deep breath, open up behind you. And chest to thigh, keeping your left cheek on the floor. Don't let it pick up. You don't want a space underneath that leg. Nice and reaching in opposition. And then come on up and over to the other side. Nice and long, chest to the mirror. Deep breath in. Open up and behind you. And then chest to thigh. Again, reaching that opposite cheek towards the floor, not letting it pick up. Don't let your hips become out of alignment. Keep everything nice and reaching in opposition. You can move, you can bounce, you can press, just not too quickly. Bring it on up. Both arms up nice and tall, leading from your hips. Take it as far forward as you can. You want to open up through those hip flexors. You can reach those hands down, but try not to drop your shoulders. When you round your shoulders and drop your head, we tend to rock back into our sit bones. We lose the quality of the stretch through the hip flexors. So always pushing with a nice long spine, reaching as low as you can, keeping the knees up to the ceiling, never letting them roll in. You can flex or point the feet. Take a deep breath, reach a little further. Carefully rolling it up. Gently close those legs. Cross your right over. If you want to, hug the left under. Hug and twist, following through with your head. Again, you can be doing either side. Nice long spine. Carry that leg back behind you. We're going to get into that quad. You can either lay backwards to where you feel comfortable, being aware of your knees, or you can push up a little bit. See where it feels good for you. Don't strain your knees. Be very aware of your joints. We don't want to cause any problems. We want to lengthen and open. Breathe. And carefully coming out. Switching sides. You're going to cross one leg over, tuck the other under. Hug and twist, following through with your head. Again, it doesn't matter which side you're doing as long as you get into both. Nice long spinal twist, deep breath. And carry that leg back behind you. Again, you can either lean backwards or push up and forwards, being aware of your knee. Breathe. Lengthening that quad from the knee to the hip. Carefully coming out of that, all 10 toes pointing to the side. Reach up tall and lay it forward as far as you can. Drop your head, drop your chin to your chest. Open up the vertebrae through your neck and upper back. can and want to, you can always flex your feet in this position for a little bit different of a stretch, trying to keep those knees straight. Inhale, roll it up. Exhale, roll it flat to the ground. Arms and legs are going to be extended to where you're comfortable. Go ahead and close your eyes and just listen. I want you to take a deep breath, as deep as you can, and we're going to squeeze everything from the top of the head to the tips of the toes. We're going to inhale and squeeze everything. Any tension you can muster up, make it nice and tight, hold it, and exhale, melt into the floor. Again, inhaling, squeezing everything, anything that you can muster after that workout. You did really great. Exhale, melt into the floor. Every exhale, I want you to feel 10 pounds heavier. Let the floor push you back up. Slow, deep breaths from here on out. No stress, no tension. Trying to find something positive. I like to say focus on something positive from the last 24 hours. Search for something positive every single day in your life. By focusing on the positive, we let go of any negative much more easily. Slow, deep breaths. When you're ready, slowly bring awareness back to your fingers and toes only. Gentle wiggle. Carefully to your wrists and your ankles. To your elbows and your knees. Hips and shoulders. Carefully draw your knees towards your chest and bring it to a fetal position on either side. Keep your head down and heavy to the floor. You can keep your eyes closed. Never moving too quickly out of a stretch. You want to melt through everything so you don't jar your muscles. Carefully bring it to your forearms and your knees. Forehead down and heavy to the floor, lengthening the spine the whole time. You can either go for a wide leg child's pose or keep it nice and closed, whatever feels good for you. Moving at your own speed. Carefully curling your toes under. Shifting back to your palms and balls of your feet. Nice tight little pod. Head is hanging down and heavy. Keep your eyes closed if you can. Slowly extend those legs. Final hanging stretch. Spine is nice and long. You can wiggle side to side here. Wake everything up a little bit more. And when you're ready, bend your knees, tucking your hips, rolling one vertebrae at a time, making your head the last thing to come up, followed by a roll back of your shoulders and a deep breath in. Great job today, everyone. I hope you enjoyed your class with us here at Bar Revolution, and we hope to see you in the studio. Have a great day.